Do you want to learn to play the violin? And did you buy a cheap instrument? No worries, it's fine to do so. But good news, there are a few ways to drastically improve the sound and playability of a cheap violin. Hey everyone! In this video I will walk you through 4 things you can do to improve the sound of a cheap violin. And as an example, I'm going to use my 5-string violin that was gifted to me by Thomann Music last year. This violin has been drastically improved since the last time you guys saw it. So let's get started. By far the biggest improvement you can make to a cheap violin is changing the strings. Cheap violins come with cheap strings, and cheap strings are usually steel core. And steel strings usually sound pretty harsh and tinny. Most violin players use synthetic core strings for a warmer sound. A very budget-friendly and, in my opinion, nice sounding set of strings is Tonica by Pirastro. A set of Tonica strings costs around 25 euros, so in my opinion, it's well worth the investment. My 5-string violin came with dominant strings, and although those strings are synthetic already, I didn't really like the sound. I tried several string sets on it that I already had, and eventually I settled with a set of Vision Solo. And the low C string is a regular Vision string. Added bonus, they all match in color. Okay, your violin comes with a chin rest. And if you're lucky, a shoulder rest too. And if not, you should probably get one. Chances are that the chin rest that comes with your violin is not very comfortable for you. So I would advise to try a few chin rests until you find one that's comfortable. And for shoulder rests, I can only recommend one because I have tried only one. This is my regular violin, and the shoulder rest that's on there is a Wolf Forte Secondo. This shoulder rest is straight when you buy it, and then you can shape it until it fits your body, and you can even adjust the height. It takes only a little bit of effort to put my jaw down, but I'm not feeling any pressure or any pain, and that's how it should be, because playing should be comfortable. And if you eventually upgrade your violin, you can of course take your chin rest and shoulder rest from the old instrument and put it on your new violin. So these things are never a waste of money. This option is where things are getting a bit expensive, and that is taking your violin to a luthier to have it set up right. What a luthier can do to a cheap violin is lowering the height of the bridge, and if necessary also lowering the height of the nut. Almost every student quality violin has a bridge and a nut that are way too high. And when those pieces are too high, the violin will not be very comfortable to play. It might not be too bad on your violin, so you could also keep it just as it is. A luthier will charge about 50 euros for this. In November I brought this violin to the luthier and I asked him to adjust the bridge and the nut. And that was also necessary because this violin has 5 strings instead of 4, so the string spacing was something that had to be adjusted. Also, your violin comes with a tailpiece. Those tailpieces are usually made of plastic and they have built-in fine tuners. On cheap instruments, these fine tuners are usually quite hard to turn. Sometimes a drop of lubricant is enough, but on my violin I had a Wittner tailpiece installed, which is just the only brand you will want to look into when it comes to tailpieces. And these tailpieces with built-in fine tuners are between 15 and 20 euros. And my last tip is probably a bit of an unexpected one. Consider upgrading your bow. Odd but true, a better bow will have more impact on your playing than a better instrument. The bows that come with cheap violins are usually, I'm trying to put it nicely, but I think I can't, utter crap. No, really, they're often very sloppy. For about 30 euros you can get yourself a basic fiberglass violin bow that will be a massive improvement already over a sloppy wooden bow. And if getting a new bow is a bit out of your budget, you could consider buying a nice block of rosin. After all, the rosin goes onto the bow hairs, so that makes an improvement as well. Okay, so what would all of this cost? Let's see. New strings, 25. Shoulder rest, 23. Chin rest, I think 15 on average. Luthier, 50. A new tailpiece, 15. A fiberglass bow, 30. And rosin, 11. Total 169 euros. But let's be real, is all of this worth it to upgrade your cheap violin? Probably not. If your instrument is very cheap, say under 100 euros, I would say don't do all of this. In that case, I would put new strings on it, put a drop of lubricant on the fine tuners and maybe get a better rosin. However, if you have spent about 300 euros on your instrument, it might be worth it to do more things from this list. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed this video, but just in case you're curious, I've made a longer, more in-depth video about this very subject, including more violin playing. And that video can only be watched on my Patreon. That's right. Yeah, that's kind of my secret club, if you will. So that video and a bunch of other stuff can only be watched if you are a member of my Patreon. Think exclusive bonus videos, sheet music and even extra collaborations with me here on YouTube. By the time this video goes live, my Patreon will be almost ready to launch, so keep an eye open for that. As soon as it's live, I'll let you know, and that will be very soon. One more sneak peek. Ah! Okay, that's it. Okay, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!